Hello everybody, welcome to Game Talk. I must admit, I was wrong. Capcom surprised me with so far what many people consider to be a very good release of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. They said it's actually a true return to form for Capcom when it comes to the Resident Evil franchise, which has been dying over the past few games. They're saying that this brings back a lot of terror, a lot of scares, which, again, I tried to warn everybody about it, saying that this doesn't sound right, that it sounds like it's just going to be another cash grab type of game where it's not going to be too much game and it's going to be just a lot of nonsense. But I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit that. That's what everybody has been saying about the game, that it's a great horror game. So, does that mean I'm going to run out and buy a copy today? No. Because, simply put, video games, in my opinion, have become pretty expensive. I mean, if you want I never buy season passes on games. There's no point. You can buy the DLC later and get the DLC you want, and it usually is a lot less painful on the wallet. So, yeah, evidently I was wrong about Resident Evil 7. Turns out it's actually a decent horror game. Again, this is going from secondhand information. I have to experience it myself, which I will probably do so when I see it in the used game section of my local video game store. Because, simply put, it's just a lot cheaper to buy your games from the used section than it is from the brand new. To buy the brand new pre-ordered. Pre-order is one of the things that really irritate me with a lot of games these days. Pre-ordered editions for some games now cost well over $100. Over $100. That is a lot of money for a pre-order. Like a short while ago, a few months ago, I pre-ordered the South Park game that was supposed to have been out. But the creators of South Park, or the creators of the game, have decided to hold back on its release right now, which I think was a good thing. You always want to, if something's not right with your game, don't just release it and then send a patch out later. Fix it now. And that's what they're doing. Supposedly, that is what they're doing with the new South Park game. I commend that kind of behavior. It shows attention to detail and caring for the customer. Which, as everybody knows, Capcom really doesn't do that. So this Resident Evil 7 has indeed surprised me. I'm man enough to admit I was wrong. I thought it was a trap. I thought it was going to be horrible. Thought there was going to be major problems with the release. Turns out it's solid. From what I hear, it's solid. So if you want to buy it, then, don't really beat yourself up too much for it. But personally, and this is my advice to you, is that maybe we should stop pre-ordering games. Because that's why a lot of these companies try to rush the game out without making sure it's done at the end. To make sure it's done before release. It's because we pre-order it, we've already given them our money, and we rush out on opening day to get it, especially those in the YouTube community, because you want to be the first one to send out a complete playthrough, or the first ones to send out videos containing the gameplay. Personally, I think it's just too much money that they're asking for a lot of pre-ordered games, and especially like the special editions and things like that. To me, I find those rather bothersome. It's like, get the season pass. It'll save you money in the long run. Yeah, if you want to buy every single piece of DLC, what if it comes out with DLC that is useless and pointless? Like different colors. Different colors for your armor. Different colors for your weapons. That's an example of useless DLC that just nickels and dimes you after taking your $90. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not right. That's why I don't buy season passes, because you know what? I don't care what color the armor is, especially in a first-person shooter. That makes no sense. Granted, a lot of games do come out with great DLC packages. That is true. Additional levels. Things like that. That's perfectly acceptable. That's the DLC I want. That's the DLC I will purchase. But I will buy them separately. Another good example of a game game franchise now that has good DLC, for the most part, is the Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Their DLC usually consists of new characters, new clothing options, and again, you're not doing this from a first-person perspective, so you actually do get to see the outfits. And these outfits have different powers. They give you additional strength while taking additional defense away, or vice versa. They boost your attributes a little bit more to match your play style, if you will. But when it comes to Resident Evil 7 DLC, I don't know. I don't know what they can. Again, I have not personally played the game, so I can't really say for certain. But from what I was told, that the game tells a story. I'm thinking, is it going to be some kind of locked section that you couldn't access through the normal game, and then you'll be able to access it through the DLC? That's not necessarily quintessential to finishing the game, but it is indeed helpful to, get more game, if you will. So, with Resident Evil 7 that has already been released at this date, this is the release date, is the day that I'm actually recording this, correct? And so, with this DLC put in, or with the DLC in mind, I really do think buying it on the used shelf would probably be a lot cheaper, because it's going to save you $20, and with DLC, I'd want to finish the game before I would try to purchase any DLC, just to make sure. Because again, I'm still a little skeptical myself. I was told that the puzzles can actually be difficult. You don't have that much access to ammunition, which I think is wonderful, because that brings about a suspense. That's something that Resident Evil has been missing. Look at Resident Evil 6, for example. You practically have unlimited ammunition, and it's just a constant shooter. That's something I did not want in a Resident Evil game. But I've been told that this Resident Evil 7, is the Resident Evil I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for that game evidently for years. So in my opinion, what's another week or so? Maybe there's some sort of glitch that nobody's really found out about it yet, and they want to patch it up before the glitch starts breaking games. That's another reason why to buy it on the used shelf. A lot of games come out, and there's little glitches that the developers may not know about, or may not have been able to do anything about, or just didn't care to do anything about. A good example of a great game that had a disastrous release because of glitches and because of bugs was Batman Arkham Knight. That is, in my opinion, a really great game, and it had a disastrous release on PC. I mean, flubber bad. It was pretty much broken on release date for PC. But if you're the kind of individual like myself that likes to wait, buy the game later, you didn't really have much of a problem. So that's pretty much all I gotta say, is that, yeah, I was wrong about Resident Evil 7. It's a great game, evidently, from what I've heard. I'll be playing it next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, because YouTube's copyright issues, I seem to get plagued with them. For every video I release, there has been 1 or 2 videos that can't be released. I even had a copyright strike by a false company. It was a false copyright strike, which is already taken care of, but they said that they, according to them, they owned a copyright for a black screen and white text. That was the part that they disputed and said was really bad. That was their copyright. You can't copyright that. They said it was theirs. It was proven to not be theirs. I'm not going to say what video it is. You'll just have to scroll, because there's a couple videos they did. And it turns out they were lying. And the videos are still monetized in my favor now. Although technically, even though my videos are monetized, I have not received a single dime from AdSense, because, as any YouTuber will tell you, they have something called a payment threshold. And I have not received a payment because I have not reached the payment threshold as of yet. Again, patience, patience, patience. I know hopefully I can get there to the point where I'm doing this as a career. As of right now, though, it's kind of not going to happen. Right now. Later, hopefully. But I know if I keep at it, keep on trying to improve my quality, trying to improve my content, I know eventually it'll work out. I have a strong belief it'll work out in the end. For all the younger YouTubers out there, I shouldn't say younger, I should say younger at their YouTube age, if you will, of how long they've been doing this. Listen, it's been hard to do that. It's hard to get that initial first chunk. Once you get that chunk, it's supposed to be a lot easier. And that's actually human psychology. If you think about it, it's the mentality that nobody wants to be on a losing team. Nobody wants to subscribe to somebody that's going to upload something once a month, and it's usually just them venting about how their videos aren't giving them paychecks. YouTube's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. I know it seems like everyone's doing it, but not everyone is becoming, the next PewDiePie, the next Markiplier, the next game theorist, the next Lily Singh, or anything like that. Don't try to be the next one of those. Try to be the first and only one of you, and your videos should come out a little bit more sincere. And it seems like I know that I'm killing time by talking about this while I'm supposed to be talking about Resident Evil 7. But again, all the information I have are secondhand. I don't usually like reporting or talking about secondhand information. I like seeing it for myself. I like to witness it myself, to experience it myself before I talk about it. Because other than that, that's like spreading a rumor around. And when you spread rumors around, it never works out well for anybody in the end. And I would like my content to be roughly around 15 minutes, at least with this particular upload. I will be doing more of the Batman Return to Arkham series, because again, that's one of my favorite game franchises. So I'm going to be releasing a lot more of those videos in the next coming weeks. And then maybe during that time, I'll be also trying to release some more Resident Evil content, as it is, it's, for many people my age, it's one of those games that kind of shaped us up a little bit when it came to first horror. Starting with Alone in the Dark, the original Alone in the Dark, not the one for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, not that one, no, the original one, back at the old PC, back in DOS game. Alright, well, time's about up. I know this video kind of rambled on a little bit, but again, I don't have a lot of information about Resident Evil 7 other than the fact that I heard it was a good game. And also the fact that I will not be purchasing it unless I find it in the used section of my video game store. So, until then, until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments about what I say, please put them in the comment section. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. Share the content if you wish. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.